Shakur Stevenson has come out and said that Saul Canelo Alvarez will be easy work for Terence BUD Crawford. Why am I not surprised? Why does this not surprise me? Shakur Stevenson is basically Terence Crawford's protege. Why would he say anything different? Why would he think anything different? But obviously he's going to get asked the question. Everybody was at the Ring Magazine event the other week. Everyone that's important, that is. Everyone that wants to fight, that is, was at the Ring Magazine event, all the boxers. And a lot of reporters were there. And I don't know if this was at this event, but I've seen it at that event. But this is an article I saw on TalkSport. And the article reads, easy work. Shakur Stevenson makes bold prediction for Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez fight. Shakur Stevenson believes Terence Crawford can make easy work of Canelo Alvarez. Crawford and Alvarez reportedly held positive talks with Turki Al-Sheikh for their potential mega fight at the Ring Magazine Awards in London last weekend. A report from renowned ESPN knockout journalist Julius Julianis has suggested the pair are both set to meet in September in Las Vegas, although nothing is official yet. Alvarez is the current unified world champion at 168 pounds super middleweight and was first called out by Bud after his victory over Edgar Berlanga last year. That's not true, but we'll come back to that. Crawford, meanwhile, rules the 154-pound light middleweight division as its WBA champion and has vowed to pile on 14 pounds to make the blockbuster fight, which would likely be the highest payday of his career. When asked if he thinks he will see two of the sport's biggest pound-for-pound stars meet in the squared circle, WBC lightweight champion Stevenson was confident with his answer. Honestly, I've been saying this for years now. Stevenson, 27, told TalkSport Boxing. I'm probably the first one that has been saying this even before Terence was saying it. I always thought that his style versus Canelo, I think he beats Canelo. I'm not saying it will be an easy fight, but he can make it a very easy fight. TalkSport pundit Gareth A. Davis responded, I ran into Terence in Dubai and he's really thicker. Pause, Rubai. He's thickened out recently. He's 38. He has thickened out. Super pause. I don't want to talk about how man tick. I understand. But anyway. Stevenson added, that's another thing too. I don't think Canelo is walking through his punches. Terence can punch. That goes for any weight class. Saudi boxing chief Al-Sheikh has himself teased suggestions of a fight between Alvarez and Bud. The ring is the Bible of boxing, and we are close to seeing the white smoke on the horizon, he told Ring Magazine. 2025 will be a crazy year for boxing, and I mean it. Stevenson is in the middle of a training camp for his highly anticipated WBC lightweight fight against Floyd Schofield February 22nd. That's a fight I'm going to talk about later on when the fight date gets closer, so I will then read any reports that I've seen about Shakur Stevenson and Floyd Schofield at that point. A fight between the pair could be an uphill battle for Bud, who will give away physical advantages, and as a result, Alvarez will likely be made a favourite for a victory. Crawford is nearing the end of his career, and it would certainly be a sensational final bow if he was to retire after a fight as a 5-weight king. Now, obviously, Shakur Stevenson is obviously going to say that Bud is going to beat Saul Canelo Alvarez. Why would he say anything else? He's trained with and under Bud for many a year now. He very much looks up to Terence Crawford as his mentor. Why would he say his mentor would lose to Canelo? One thing I will agree with him is that the style that Canelo has is suited for Crawford. We look at the Crawford fight with Madrimov and we say, wow, he struggled in that fight. That was a difficult fight for him. He couldn't put a dent in Madrimov. He didn't hurt Madrimov and he scraped through. I don't agree with that. I believe he did hurt Madrimov at points. I also believe that he didn't scrape through. I think he won the fight convincingly, in my opinion. The thing what is kind of telling is the power element. The difference between Madrimov and Canelo Alvarez is that Madrimov made himself such a difficult target with his footwork. The European style of boxing derives from the amateur setup where there's a lot of movement. You keep on your toes, you're in and out, you don't stay stationary, you don't give your opponent the ability to give you a clean shot by just blocking. It's a lot of movement, it's a lot of in and out, it's a lot of making yourself hard to hit. Saul Canelo Alvarez is not like that. He plants his feet, determined to deliver the most power he can in most of his shots. He is a power shot specialist. And there is the nuance that will give Bud a bit of an advantage. The thing for me is, my dad always told me in boxing, a good big man beats an equally good little man. These two are in the top 3 of the pound for pound setup in this generation. The top 3, Alexander Usyk, Terence BUD Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Out of these 3, this is the top of the pound for pound in recent times. So basically, you've got number 2 versus number 3. I don't think you've got number 1 versus number 2 because I think Alexander Usyk, for me personally, I would give Alexander Usyk number 1 pound for pound because he done the ultimate measurement of the pound for pound. Coming from a weight that is not heavyweight into heavyweight. He boxed as light as middleweight as an amateur. And then he won the heavyweight undisputed title. So for me, he's number 1 pound for pound. So it's definitely 2 versus 3. Whoever you want to put second, whoever you want to put third, is 2 versus 3 in the pound for pound reckoning. But this is where things get a bit sticky. Because for me, I just think that weight classes are there for a reason. And that's the caveat. So for me, I'm finding it difficult, even though I agree that the style that Canelo Alvarez has is easier for Crawford to dissect. But for me, does he have the power to get Canelo Alvarez's respect? I saw Canelo Alvarez take a lot of heavy duty shots from the light heavyweight champion Bivol when he was the champion and they were fighting for his belt. I saw Canelo Alvarez take a lot of clean shots in that fight. Dmitry Bivol couldn't knock him out. I saw him take some decent shots in the Sergey Kovalev fight, another light heavyweight. The Crusher is what they used to call Sergey Kovalev because he's so devastating with his power and his shot selection. Canelo Alvarez knocked him out. Yes, he was coming off the back of a grueling fight, which he won against Anthony Yarde, and it did, for me, take some of the fight out of him. At the same time, Canelo Alvarez went up to light heavyweight and defeated him after taking some good shots. He ended up knocking him out, ended up stopping him. These are the things that make me think, can Bud really put a dent in Canelo? Can he get Canelo to respect his power and therefore respect him in the ring? Because if he can't get Canelo's respect in there, it's going to be a very long night for Crawford. But at the same time, this fight isn't even official yet. They're still talking about it. It's not done yet, so I won't really try to break it down as much as I want to. But I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the people them that Shakur Stevenson is out here, obviously, giving his brethren the ultimate big up, saying that he can make Canelo Alvarez easy work. And I do not necessarily agree with that. But what else is he supposed to say, eh? What else is he supposed to say? To be fair, he could have said, yeah, I think you beat him. But to say that he makes him easy work, that's peak, man. That's a par. That is a par by far. Anyway, that's enough of that. I will see you guys in the next video.